My neighbor's dog only barks at the empty chair. A TaleCraft horror story. The boxes are mostly unpacked, the last echo of the moving truck's rumble long gone. This new house, nestled deep in the quietest part of Meadowbrook Estates, is a sanctuary. Or so I tell myself. The air here doesn't hum with the distant city drone, it's thick with the scent of freshly cut grass and the promise of endless, uneventful evenings. I'm looking for uneventful. After everything, uneventful sounds like heaven. My immediate neighbor, an older man named Mr. Henderson, keeps to himself. His house is a mirror image of mine, a neat two-story with a sprawling oak in the front yard. The only splash of color is the vibrant red Adirondack chair on his porch, always positioned perfectly, facing the street. And then there's Shadow. Shadow is a magnificent creature, a purebred black Labrador with eyes like melted chocolate and a coat that drinks the light. He's usually a placid dog, prone to napping in sunbeams and chasing squirrels with a leisurely grace that suggests he's only humoring them. But Shadow has a ritual. Every evening, without fail, as the clock on my phone ticks over to exactly 9 p.m., Shadow emerges. He doesn't bound or trot, he steps with a deliberate, almost solemn air from the back of the house, around the side, and onto the porch. He walks directly to the red Adirondack chair, positions himself about 10 feet in front of it, and then he barks. It's not an aggressive bark, not a playful bark, and certainly not a desperate bark. It's a deep, resonant woof, a single, guttural sound that seems to carry a weight disproportionate to its brevity. One bark. Always just one. Then he stands there, tail still, ears slightly perked, staring at the empty chair. He stares for a full minute, sometimes two, before letting out a soft whimper and retreating back around the side of the house. The first time it happened, I was on my own porch, enjoying the twilight and the symphony of crickets. I nearly jumped out of my skin. Mr. Henderson wasn't outside, and the chair was undeniably empty. I chalked it up to an old dog's strange habit, maybe a ghost scent, an echo of a routine I wasn't privy to. But when it happened again the next night, and the next, always at 9 p.m., always just one bark at the empty chair, my curiosity began to prickle. I started watching. My own evenings morphed into a quiet vigil. I'd finish dinner, brew a cup of herbal tea, and position myself at my living room window, just obscured enough by the lace curtains to be unseen. The suburban quiet would deepen as dusk bled into night. Cicadas would begin their relentless, high-pitched thrum, a sound that in this new stillness felt less like background noise and more like the very pulse of the neighborhood. And then, precisely at 9, Shadow would appear. The methodical walk, the precise positioning, the singular, deep bark. His eyes, even from a distance, seemed fixed on something I couldn't perceive. It wasn't the chair itself he barked at, I realized, but at the space directly in front of it, as if greeting an arrival or challenging a presence. I observed Mr. Henderson too. He seemed oblivious. Sometimes he'd be inside, lights on, watching TV. Other times, he'd be in his garage, tinkering. Never once did he react to Shadow's nightly ritual. It was as if this strange occurrence was as natural to him as the sun rising. Days turned into weeks. My routine solidified around Shadows. I found myself anticipating it, a strange mix of dread and fascination churning in my gut. The bark started to sound less like a greeting and more like a warning. Or perhaps, a plea. What was it about that chair? What was it about 9 p.m.? One Tuesday evening, the sky bruised purple and orange, hinting at a coming storm. The cicadas were particularly loud, a vibrating hum that seemed to penetrate my bones. I was at my usual post, tea growing cold in my hands. 8:58 p.m. My breath hitched a little. This was it. Shadow emerged, his black coat almost invisible against the deepening shadows of the porch. He moved with his usual deliberate gait, a silent, dark shape gliding towards the red chair. Then he stopped. Not 10 feet away. Closer. His ears were flattened, his tail tucked, and a low, almost inaudible growl rumbled in his chest. His eyes, usually so soft, were wide and fixed, not on the space in front of the chair, but on the chair itself. My blood ran cold. The chair wasn't empty. Not entirely. It was subtle at first, almost imperceptible in the fading light. A ripple in the air above the seat, like heat haze off asphalt, but without the heat. A distortion. As if the very fabric of reality was being stretched and thinned. Shadow let out another low growl, deeper this time, a primal sound of fear. He backed up a step, then another, never taking his eyes off the chair. The single bark I'd grown accustomed to never came.